Hey, this is Scott, and this is just a very quick video to show you how this little guy can help you use your Portkeys monitor to control your camera. So this is called the long arm camera controller, and it's an extra piece that you can use which plugs into both of the HDMI ports on your monitor, and then this will go out to plug into the HDMI of your camera as well as the USB port, and it will allow you to see, of course, what your camera is seeing on the monitor, and you can also go ahead and use these on-screen controls to take control of some of the functions of your camera. Right now specifically, I am using this with the Canon 5D Mark IV, but they have different versions of this for a few different cameras, so you can take a look on their website to see what they have available, and some of these functions might differ from camera to camera as well. So as you can see, there are a number of options down the left side of the screen for you to choose from. Starting from the bottom, actually, this will of course turn your live view off and then back on again. And then you have options to control your focus, your aperture, your shutter speed, and your ISO. Selecting each of those will change this part on the right side a little bit. So that way for the aperture, shutter speed, and ISO, you have simple plus and minus dials. And for example, with the aperture, as I push the plus button, you can see that right on screen the aperture is actually changing, and you can see that both in the number here and also just the exposure on screen. The same for the shutter speed, so that works just like that, and the same for ISO. So my ISO is going higher and lower, and you can see of course the exposure on screen but also the actual numbers on screen changing. Jumping back to the focus, you can see we have two sets of up arrows and two sets of down arrows. The outside double arrows are going to adjust your focus faster, and the inside will have more of a fine, slow adjustment. It is very, very slow, so that's for when you really need a very micro adjustment. But just taking a look at this really quickly, when you push the arrow, you can see that the focus is being adjusted, and also that peaking is temporarily turned on while you're adjusting the focus. So if I pull back to the door here, you can see that peaking is turned on to show me I'm focused on my door, and then it turns off because I don't have that actually turned on the monitor right now. So again, as I adjust my focus by tapping or holding here, you can see that it's going to bring that into focus for me, and it will show me the peaking to let me know what's in focus. Again, if I use these smaller single arrows, it's a very fine adjustment. So you can see how slowly this is changing now by looking at the peaking on the screen now. So that's going to be a really nice fine adjustment, maybe when you're doing macro work or something else that requires that really small amount of finesse. Then up top we have the record button, which will of course start and stop recording right from your monitor. You also have the photo button, so if I switch my camera over into photo mode, let me just turn that live view back on. You can use this to take a photo. And there it is, that took a photo right now. And finally, this bottom button is actually supposed to control your autofocus, but I cannot honestly figure out how to get it to work, because with Canon, if you're in video mode, it's going to continuously focus where the little focus box is. So this doesn't actually do anything because it's already focusing on its own. You can of course turn off servo focus during movie mode, but it doesn't seem to actually control the focus for me from here. Maybe that will work with some other cameras, but anyway, everything else works just fine, and it's really nice to have this fine control of things like your focus right from your monitor. That will be great for when you have things locked down onto a tripod and you really don't want to touch the camera, but you want to get that little fine control. Or again, if you have your camera out of reach and you can't reach those adjustments, but you can see your monitor, you can make all those adjustments right on here. How you use it is going to be up to you, but anyway, this is how it works for the Canon 5D Mark IV. If you want to see anything more about this monitor specifically, this is the LH5T from Portkeys, and I do have a full review with a full walkthrough of everything that's built into here. It's quite a nice monitor. I do recommend you check that out. I will have a link for that down in the video description, so be sure to take a look. If you have any questions or comments, leave those down below and I will do my best to get back to you. If you like this video or found it helpful, don't forget to give me a thumbs up, subscribe to see more in the future, and as always, thank you for watching.